Right. You know, not on my list, but you could probably attest to this. Social Security in divorce, the whole 10-year rule. Are you familiar with that? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so if you were married longer than 10 years, if you're over 62 and not remarried, there's some stipulation, then you can possibly have a 50% of your ex's Social Security if it's higher than your own. But if you're remarried or before 62, that won't apply. So my recommendation is to call the Social Security office. They cannot tell you how much your ex-spouse's Social Security number is, but they can tell you if it's higher or lower than yours, or half of his or hers is higher or lower than yours, so that you can count on yours or you can count on your spouse's or ex-spouse's. But at the end of the day, you've got to call Social Security and have a conversation with them. And your ex doesn't ever know, and it doesn't ever affect his benefits or her benefits, and it doesn't affect if he remarried or she remarried. It doesn't affect the spouses. So it's kind of one of those weird things. But yeah, it just depends on if your personal one is higher than 50% of his or hers.
Yeah, I think, and the reason I asked you about that is because I will see people write in their agreement that I've had it said this way. The only thing we're fighting over is Social Security. He doesn't want to give me his, or vice versa, Social Security. So I'll have to have that conversation with them. Usually I'll send them the link to the IRS or Social Security.
Social Security,
yeah. And I'll explain to him, because if you read it, it's kind of confusing unless you just break it down like you just did. The 50% of, and it doesn't affect the spouse receiving the higher amount. They still get their full amount.
Yeah. Right. And they don't even know that you filed it.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't apply. It doesn't affect his, or hers benefits at all.
And I think what was the policy reason on that? I mean, what I see is, let's say you had a marriage where, mom or dad stayed home 20 years and never worked, and their Social Security obviously is going to be significantly less unless they catch back up. So it makes sense that there would be some benefit for them in that way, to get some of that.
Yeah, I have to imagine that's part of how that actually came to fruition, because, like you said, a lot of those, typically the ladies would stay at home and be the full-time mom, and was that for, like you said, 20 years till the kids went off to college.
Yeah.
And it might have been more than that if there was, 2, 3, 4 kids involved. And then the husband has these larger benefits and she's got nothing. So that totally makes sense that she has, rights to half of his benefits.
Yeah. Yeah. So that clears that part up.